Like there's no, those names together are so weird together. You know, it's a weird fusion name. I feel like Shallet with an E is their best option, but also it's like, man, should be getting the short end of the stick with that name. What's up?
This would be an odd question.
Yes.
You play so many characters, you save like a snippet of what the voice sounds like, so when they ask you later, you're like, oh, I gotta go back and listen to that voice.
That's their
Get you
job.
back.
Yeah, that's their job, technically. They should do that. Sometimes they don't. You know, I try my best like before recording something, because usually they schedule it at a time and I'll be like, okay, well let me listen to what I just did for me. And then they'll still play you a reference. Sometimes you've just done the role so often that you don't need a reference anymore. But this one's a little different. I recently took over the role of this character, Macaque, in Lego Monkey Kid, which is I highly recommend checking out. It's the story of Sun Wukong. It's animated, it's Lego, and it's super cool. And I took over the role because the previous actor, who was a really close friend of mine, he passed away. And they were like, oh, you kind of sound like him. And I auditioned, and they were like, oh, you sound a lot like him. So one of the hardest things for that was because this was literally a month or two after he passed away, and they were having me record. And the toughest part about that was hearing his voice, because I had to match his voice. And hearing that voice, and what I would do, and I've never told the director this, what I would do is, in between takes, I would mute myself and listen to him so that I could try to match as closely as possible while I'm recording. Because I'm trying to do my own thing while also matching what he did. So, but at the end of the day, that is technically their job. You know, when there's so many characters. But yeah, highly recommend. Especially if you like Dragon Ball, because Sean Chimmel plays Sun Wukong. So, you know, the reference of, oh yeah, Goku is Sun Wukong, now he's Sun Wukong, it makes sense. So yeah. Any other questions, please guys? We have like, I think 20 minutes left. We have 20 minutes left, exactly. All right, we'll go you. Yes.
So what are you going to do with the 5th anniversary, and what's your opinion on that, and what is next in the future of Legends?
For me, man, I'll keep coming back as long as they'll have me.
Yeah.
What do I want for the 5th anniversary? I want the fusion to be playable, man. Yeah. I want to be able to actually play as the fusion in multiplayer, or just in the game. If they limit him, like it's like, oh, you can't play him in multiplayer, but everything else you can. I'm like, sure, I'll take that. Please. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because like, I kind of fell off of it because I stopped getting the Ultra units. Not that by design, by the way. I pulled for them. I just didn't get them. And I want them, but it's there's just so much, and I'm so busy, and there's so many different games to play. But I don't know. It's tough to say. I kind of want, and I don't think they will, but I kind of want them to tackle the Dragon Ball Super manga stuff. That's what I want for the future. Because I want to be able to like see what Moro or like Granola is about, right? And I'm like, I also just want to hear what they would sound like in the dub. I'm just like, man, or like, you know, Medus. That was his name, right? Medus the Angel.
Yeah.
I just want Dragon Ball Super. But yeah, like I just want to see what that's all about and hear what they're about and stuff. I don't know what to expect from the 5th anniversary. I don't know. I can tell you it's not blue. I'm sorry. Look, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I hope. I told you, there's always one way. I told you. But I don't know. Hopefully in the future, and hopefully more. You know, the future that I want for Legends is that those characters, like not just Shallot, but Giblet, Zaha, and any other characters in that game get some love like other games. Because I feel like a good way to promote Legends is to have them in other games, you know? Like, whether it be Budokai Tenkaichi 4, whether it be in Xenoverse 2, you know, I doubt they'll do fighters because it's a whole. I mean, they stopped making characters for fighters, but like, you know what I mean?
No, they said they're doing another.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, Battle Hour.
Well, never mind. Hey, Shallet Dragon Ball Fighter, let's go! It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Don't get too excited. Relax. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I want. I want for the three of them to be in other games to help promote Legends. That's what I want. So yeah. You had a question.
So if Nanbaka ever got confirmed for another season, would you change Uno's accent?
No. For consistency's sake, I'd keep it. We almost did the accent, but it was so bad. Because there was a gag in Nanbaka where all of them were like talking about their foods from their. And like it was, Uno said something about chips and fries, and Jugo was like, "Oh, I like noodles." And then Twa and they were like, "Oh yeah, I like baguettes or whatever." I can't remember. But we tried to do the accents there, and then for me, they were so laser focused on Uno doing the accent that number one, it was bad because I was like chips and fries, and it was just sounding like crap. It was so bad, and then they didn't realize that it's like, wait, if we have him do the accent, then we have to make Jugo do a Japanese accent, and then Honey and Twa will have to do a French and Italian. No accent. That's fine. Because you think about it, it's like, Uno is fine, because it's like, what? I don't know if we should get the white guy to do a Japanese accent. That would be bad. So yeah. To answer your question, no. And also for consistency. Because that would just throw people off, and people are like, who the heck is this guy? So yeah. All right, we got 14 minutes left. You gotta hit me with questions. Yes.
Well, aside from Shallet, what was your qualification?
not Gillette. What? Gullet. Howlet. Like ghost. Gallet. Nah, I would have sounded too close to Gallet. I don't know. That's so tough. Like I understand why it's probably Shiblet or something, or because you wouldn't call it Shablet. That just sounds weird. But Shiblet sounds also weird. Like those names together are so weird together. Oh, would it be Goblet? Yeah, that's the problem. So it's a weird fusion name. I feel like Shallot with an E is their best option, but also it's like, man, Shiblet getting the short end of the stick with that name. Because it's like Vegito and Gogeta, those are so iconic, but it's like, okay. But I mean, those names aren't even accurate to the Japanese, if I remember right. So, because it's supposed to be like, that's why Vegito is like different. I believe in, it's like with 2 T's or something in the Japanese because of Kakarot and Vegeta. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Anyway, I don't know. What would you call it? You put me on the spot.
Fred, who wants to call?
Definitely. Also, that wouldn't work. Where's the B?
I don't know.
What's your question?
Do you have any favorite moments from Prince of Tennis, either from the new one or the old one that you...
Well, funny enough, if you were here earlier, we did talk about Prince of Tennis.
Sorry, I just wanted...
Yeah, no worries. My favorite moment is in the original show. There's a bike scene where Momoshiro is running. He literally is just like late for something. I can't even remember the exact thing. He's like biking, and then he gets stopped by he crashes into Echizen's dad, and they just like have an ab off. And what I mean is they literally pull up their shirts, and it's like, look at these chiseled muscles. And then literally David Wald, who is just perfect, it's like, this is the true body, like this is true perfection. And I'm just like, bro, this is the funniest thing. And yeah, that's my favorite scene. I don't even remember what episode. I want to say it's in the 20s, if not 30s. But it was such a good, fun episode to record. Because it was just, there's a whole tennis match happening. And then these two are arguing in the whole episode. Just talking about it. It's like, you crashed into me. And he's like, move it, move. And I'm just like, apologize! It was great. Yeah, that's my favorite manga.
Are you interested in voice acting, or just if you're a voice actor, do you want to further your career? My name is John, and I've taken classes from Elise Baughman, and her classes are amazing. She can teach you anything from the ins and outs of the business, how to create a character from just looking at a picture, and also just the voice acting 101 to set up a microphone and set up a studio. All this has helped me, and I know it can help you. If you want to learn more about this, go to elisecoaches.com for more.
All right, any other questions? Guys, we got 10 minutes. Yes?
So, as you know, Horimiya is in a season 2.
Yeah!
Are you excited for the new season?
No! No, I'm really excited. Horimiya is this really cute rom-com. The reason why it's called Horimiya is because Hori and Miya Buddha, and you put them together, and that's why it's called Horimiya. Anyway, so the original season was 12 episodes, and those 12 episodes, it starts where the manga started, and it ends where the manga ended. The problem is, you can't cover the entire manga in 12 episodes, and that was always my biggest complaint, because they skipped so much. And this next season is covering all the stuff they didn't do. So I'm so excited about that. I'm excited at doing the school festival. I'm excited at doing the school trip. I hope they do the 10 years after, the 10 years before. But I'm very excited, because we're gonna do stuff that I wanted to do that we didn't get a chance to do. So, yeah.
Speaking of what, that's how the figurine right here.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I also have that one. What's up?
What are your thoughts on Wish for Mercury?
Oh, season 1 was so interesting. So for those of you who don't know, I voiced in Gundam, which for Mercury, I am Shaddiq, and it's very funny because like when I auditioned for the character, you know, I was doing something lighter. I was like, I am Shaddiq, like something like that. But they're like, nah, go deeper. And I was like, are you sure? And online I've seen it's like, yeah, like Shaddiq sounds great, but man, his voice is so low. And I was like, hey, that's what they told me to do. The first season is very interesting because it's like very like, we are holding debates through Gundam fights. And everything is fine, the world is hunky-dory, like it's like, yes, we're gardening, there's a little bit of drama, we're trying to fund these things and blah, blah, blah. And the last episode of the first season, it goes down. And it's just like, what is happening? Blood, people are dying! And I'm like, oh, there's Gundam. There's Gundam. And we just started the second season, and I'm pretty excited. I don't know what is going to happen exactly, but if the tone of the second season is the way the first season ended, I'm here for it. So I'm ready. I will say, as much as I love working on this show, my favorite Gundam is G Gundam. Yeah! Because it's just Dragon Ball up a Gundam. I'm not even kidding. Also, it has some of the most racist Gundams you'll ever see. Yeah, what is the name of the Gundam with a sombrero?
Tequila.
I didn't want to say it because I knew it sounded bad, but I wanted, look, now that you guys said it, I'll feel that out. Hey, if it makes you feel better, I literally voiced a Digimon recently for that 2020 dub. I voiced, his name is Ponchomon.
I knew it was Poncho. I knew it was going to be Ponchomon.
It's Ponchomon, and he has Tequila Knuckle. So, hey, I loved playing him. Are you kidding me? I was like, yeah! And I got to say Mimigo. It was so good. It was, it's weird that they only put it on the Microsoft Store. That is the weird thing. But G Gundam, watch G Gundam. If you haven't watched G Gundam, I think they just came out with a Blu-ray version last year. It's so good. So good. And by so good, I mean so cheesy. But it's amazing.
So good.
Yeah. It's just a giant tournament until it goes down. But yeah. All right, how much time we got? We got 7 minutes. Yes.
Who's your favorite One Piece character?
My favorite One Piece character? All right, I got a sad story. All right, my favorite, I have two. Well, technically three. Of the Straw Hats, it's Brook. That's the easy answer, right? Yeah, and Ian, I think, plays him amazing. My two answers are Ace and Saba. When I first moved to Texas, way back in like 2015, I had a 5-year plan. And that was I want to voice Sabo. That was my 5-year plan. And I was like, because at the time, they were nowhere near like Dressrosa. When I moved, they were, I think, not even at the time scale. They weren't even at the war. So I was just like, yeah, I got time. I got time. So I was like, yeah. I think they were just at the war.
They were at Impel Down.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, all right. So I remember I got called in after my first session. I did Fairy Tale was my very first session. And then afterwards, they were calling me in to do incidentals. At the time, it was Joel McDonald who was the director. And he's like, hey, you gonna be here for the next 5 years? And I was like, yes, I am. And he's just having me do incidentals and just like random characters. And in the back of my head, I was like, good. I'm slowly getting in there. My plan is working. And next thing you know, they come out with One Piece Foam Gold. And Sabo is in the movie. And I'm like, my plan, it's over. Whatchamacallit? And then the movie comes out. I remember I asked a friend of mine who was part of like marketing, I was like, hey, do you know if Sabo's in the movie? And he's like, I don't know, I can check. He texted me later that day and he's like, yeah, he's in the movie, man, I'm sorry. I was like, and I remember I texted my brother because my brother knew about my plan and he's like, hey, how's the plan going? I was like, I think he's dead, bro. He's like, who do I gotta kill? I was like, nah. Like, we can't do that. He's like, just say the word. And all that stuff went down, and then they recast him, and then I was like, well, they got Johnny. I can't do that. That's fine. But yeah. Between Ace and Sabo, those were my favorites. Yeah. So.
I love the Trio so much.
Yeah. Those brothers are so cool. But now, when it comes to One Piece, when it comes to like favorite characters, I'm just like, whoever. Like, you know, now I'm just in for the ride. I finished reading Wano, and I need to catch up to the new one. So yeah.
Are you ready for a certain Luffy gear?
Yes, I am. I can't wait to see it animated. Yeah. All right.
Do you have any specific memories of doing walla sessions where you have to do like background characters that was just funny to you, or?
So going back to Howard. Howard was the director of Prince of Tennis. Look, he's literally my best friend. They put us in a walla session once, and we literally rewrote a show, essentially, from the booth, just talking to each other. And they put us in a walla session together, and we just talked about random stuff. Like, we were in this arena, and I remember 3 different shots. It's like, all right, we need 3 takes of this, and it was like 2 minutes long, like a walla queue of 2 minutes long, 3 different times. And we're like, all right. And I remember we were like, oh man, I can't believe we got front row seats to this. Yeah, this is gonna be great. Woo! And we did that for like, then the second take, we're like, oh man, I can't believe we showed up late. Now we're all the way in the back. We can't see anything. I told you should have taken the interstate. Like, just stuff like that. And then the third one, we're like, it's a different shot, and it's like looking at a TV, it's like, man, I can't believe we missed it. We should have gone. Why didn't we go? And then literally the next cue is the arena is exploding and people are running out. It's like, oh God! Like the first cue we're like dying, the second cue's like, quick, the exit, it's right next to us. and then it switches to the TV shot and it's like, man, it's a good thing we didn't go, huh? And the director's like, you just came up with a whole story, huh, guy? So yeah, that was the moment I realized, it's like, we should never be allowed to do like walla, like that, because we're chaotic, and I don't think I've ever had that. Okay, I think I can do one more question. All right, what's up?
Favorite Dragon Ball character?
Shallet? No, I'm just kidding. Look, in all seriousness, that's such a tough question. I used to say my favorites were Krillin and Bardock. And it had nothing to do with Sunny Straight being both of them, but it was really funny that it turned out that both of my favorite characters were Sunny Straight. And then I met Sunny Straight, and I was like, hey, that looks good. And he ended up being my voiceover teacher, which was really cool for a bit. But now, and that was so long ago, now, that's so tough to say. I don't know, that's really tough. I think the safe answer is just to stick with those 2, but I really like Medus. from the Dragon Ball Super manga, I think is really cool. And I really like the new characters that they've introduced. Like, sure, they're not fully executed like well, but Granola and Moto and Medus, I think, it's some of the best things that Dragon Ball has gotten in recent years. Obviously, the rewrites of Broly are amazing, but yeah. Okay, I think with that, we're done. Yeah, we're done. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I'll be at my booth the rest of the day, so if you want to stop.